So the hardest thing about dating women when you have kids is the girl I was with for over a year, my son loved her. My son absolutely loved her and her son. Her son told people that my son was her son's brother. He would say all the time that's his brother. He took the photo of them together and took it to school and told his friends that that was his little brother. The girl I've been seeing for the last few weeks, she met my son 2 or 3 times, and I regret her meeting him. I honestly thought that things were going to be more serious. Like, I fucked up. I allowed my feelings, or me liking her, more than my logical thinking. And I'm on my way to pick up my son right now. Me and him are going to go down to my sister's house, and I have to put power out in the middle of her yard. Out in the middle of the yard for her chickens, because winter's coming and there has to be able to have heat out there for the chickens, and I got to put lights out there so they can see, and also to stop raccoons from trying to get to the chickens, because raccoons are trying to get into the chicken cages without any light. But I'm on my way to pick up my son right now, and the first thing my son asks me is, he says, "Hey Daddy, am I gonna get to see that girl?" Because the last time he was over, she ended up buying him a T-Rex costume because he loves T-Rex. And I have a picture of him in the T-Rex costume. And her and him together were baking. She was baking with him. And out of the times that she's seen my son, they bonded really well. And when me and her broke up, I told her, like, I regret you meeting my son, because my son liked you. And she proceeded to tell me that he'll forget about her, and that she wasn't that important to him or me or whatnot. And I was like, well, I shouldn't have had you meet him, because now you're not going to be the one that has to deal with him asking about you. And she's like, well, you know, it's not as if we were together forever. And I was like, you know as much as I do that my son is super smart. Super smart. And he's going to ask about you. He likes you. Well, it breaks my heart that when I get on the phone with him, the first thing he says is, am I going to get to see Jazz? So that's the problem with having kids and trying to date. Your kids get attached to these women. Granted, I don't get my kids full-time. I don't get my son full-time. I've been trying to see my daughter and my daughter's mom. I asked her last week when I could come see her, and she really didn't give me an answer. But regardless, my son is super attached, gets attached to the women that I date, and it doesn't work out. It doesn't work out. So I know that the best thing for my son, like, the best things I know for my son are either not date women at all, so that he doesn't see me with random women and him get attached and then have to not be attached with them anymore, or to get married, because seeing a mom and a dad in the house together, having that consistent relationship would benefit him. But I'm torn in between of which I should do, because it doesn't seem that these women that I come across, or I attract, or I'm attracted to, want anything long term, and if they do, they want to change who I am, or they don't like who I am, and it doesn't work out, or whatever the issue may be. It could be me. Like I didn't do shit to this last one. Like, I literally just have a general view of women, and she doesn't like it. She said it's unattractive that I constantly bash women. But it is what it is, you know. Regardless of how I feel about women, that's not how I treat the women I'm with. But yeah, so the exact same thing I said yesterday, first thing my son said to me when he called me was the exact same thing I told her, is that he's going to ask about you, and I'm going to have to deal with him always asking about you. Because my son doesn't forget. He doesn't. Last year for Christmas, he asked me for 3 months every time he seen me if he could get a cat boy toy from PJ Masks. For 3 months he remembered to ask me about this, and my son will be 4 in February, so he was only 2.5 when he kept asking me this. And now he's older and he remembers stuff even better. He's able to associate things. Like, if you talk about Jurassic Park, if you say Jurassic Park, he'll go through and start listing all of his favorite dinosaurs. You know, these are the problems of being a single dad. You don't get enough time with your kid. Not as much time as you want. You're constantly working. You constantly have a woman that's mad at you because you're not there for your kid as much as they think you should be, or they expect you to be more financially obligated to them when you can't be. And you have shit in your own personal life that you have to take care of because the government isn't helping you. You're not getting money from another person for anything. And then you have to deal with the breaking up of the women that you are trying to date, the relationships you are trying to be in, and the aftermath of it is with your kids. Like, it's just sad. It's sad that where dating is and relationships are today in America, and especially the millennial generation where I'm at. The last woman I was dating was almost 10 years older than me. So, like, she was a great woman. I literally liked her so much. Like, she was great. She owned her own business. She was going to school. Like, she had the same humor that I had. She was good looking. She could cook. She hit all the check marks. Everything that I could want in a woman, there was that. And her being 10 years older than me was a plus. I figured she wasn't on fuck shit. I figured that we could get past all the young woman bullshit, but she switched up on me just like the rest of the women that I've dated do. It doesn't matter if they're 5 years younger than me. It doesn't matter if they're the same age as me. It doesn't matter if they're a couple years older than me. It doesn't matter if they're 10 years older than me. It doesn't matter if they're 10 years younger than me. It all ends up being the same thing. So, for any of the guys that are out there that don't have kids yet and you're casually dating, be careful. Don't get women pregnant. Don't have kids with women that you don't plan on being with for the rest of your life. Get married if you're gonna have kids. Get married and then have kids. That's, like, do that. And to the women that are watching my videos, don't be the typical woman. Like, fight everything in your nature to do what you think you should do. Don't listen to your friends. Don't take this advice from women that are on YouTube or on television telling you that you know, like Cardi B, that you don't need to cook or clean and you still get a ring. Don't be fucking acting ratchet, because it's really destroying society. Like, our generation isn't getting married. We're not making households with 2 parents in it for all these kids that are being born. Like, out of all the women that I've dated that I honestly saw being able to build a future with and actually be prosperous and not being a drain, because most of the women that I've dated have always been a drain. They've always needed more from me than they even had to offer. And this one was not like that in any way. The last 2 women I've dated, like, were not drains to me. And they still acted like the ones that were drains at the end. So, like, I have no idea what to tell anybody when it comes to how to advance in a positive manner in a relationship, because I can't seem to figure it out. But I just wanted to put this out there because my son called and asked about this girl Jazz, so I figured it'd be a good time to speak on it, because I literally just said the same shit yesterday, and then not even 24 hours later, here we are. I'm having to deal with the thing I said that was going to happen. But let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Always subscribe, share. You guys can email me at SavageRecovery. If you join my Patreon, I have more content that it can't be on YouTube. And also, I have a Discord on the Patreon, so we can conversate with the other patrons there. Thank you guys for the support. If it wasn't for you guys, this channel wouldn't be able to happen. As always, stay savage.